The massive ship hung silent in the darkness of space. Inside, Commander Ta looked at the blue planet on the main screen. Earth. Such a small world, yet it had caught the attention of the Galactic Coalition's highest council. "Play the signal again," Ta ordered. Officer Han nodded and touched the control panel. Strange sounds filled the command room, a mix of what humans called radio waves and something else, something that didn't belong. "We've found the source," said Science Officer Jin, her eyes fixed on her data screen. "It's coming from this region." A map appeared, showing a landmass humans called Korea. Ta nodded. He had studied hundreds of worlds in his 50 years as a coalition officer, but Earth had always been classified as a backwater planet. Primitive, still burning fossil fuels, barely reaching their own moon. Yet something about these signals suggested they were more advanced than the coalition believed. Could it be a natural phenomenon? Ta asked. Jin shook her head. "No, Commander. These patterns show clear signs of artificial design. There's intelligence behind them." Ta walked to the window and looked down at the planet. His mission was simple: determine if Earth posed a threat to the coalition. Most new species were welcomed into the galactic community, but some, those who developed certain technologies too quickly, were deemed too dangerous to allow into space. "Prepare the landing craft," Ta ordered. "Small team, covered approach. I want no detection." Cultural analyst Yoon stepped forward. "Commander, I studied their languages and social structures. I recommend we land here." She pointed to a mountainous region. Remote, minimal population, close to what appears to be a research facility. "If there's advanced technology, that's where we'll find it." "Good. Yoon, Jin, Han, you're with me. Standard protocol. We observe only." 4 hours later, their small craft descended through Earth's atmosphere, shielded from human detection systems. They landed in a forest clearing, the ship automatically disguising itself as natural terrain. "Atmosphere is breathable with our filters," Jin reported. "Gravity slightly lower than standard. Weather conditions mild." Ta stepped onto Earth soil, feeling the strange sensation of a new world beneath his feet. The air smelled different from any planet he had visited, rich with organic compounds. "Set up perimeter scanners," he ordered. "I want to know if anything approaches within 1 kilometer." As his team unpacked their equipment, Ta climbed a small hill to get a better view. In the distance, he could see lights. The research facility, he guessed. Something about this place felt wrong. Earth was supposed to be a level 2 civilization, barely understanding the basics of quantum physics. Yet the signals they had detected suggested level 4 technology at least. "Commander," Han called out. "You need to see this." Ta hurried back to find Han staring at a scanner display. "What is it?" "I'm detecting energy patterns unlike anything in our database," Han said. "And they're recent, within the last few years. This kind of technology shouldn't exist here." Jin looked up from her own instruments. "There's more. Those signals we detected from space, they're not communication attempts. They're leaking data, like exhaust from a much larger system." "Could another species be interfering here?" Ta asked. This wouldn't be the first time an advanced civilization had violated coalition law by giving technology to a developing world. "No," Jin said. "The signatures don't match any known species." Yoon, who had been setting up surveillance equipment, suddenly froze. "Commander, I'm picking up a directed transmission. It's aimed at our ship in orbit." "That's impossible," Ta said. "Our cloaking technology is being scanned by something," Yoon finished. "Something on Earth knows we're here." Tae's communicator beeped. A message from the orbiting ship. *unknown signal attempting to access ship systems. Origin, Earth facility. Orders, *. Ta looked toward the distant lights of the facility. Whatever was rising from Earth, it wasn't the primitive human civilization they had expected to find. "Maintain position," he said quietly. We need to see what we're dealing with. Dawn broke over the mountains as Commander Ta's team moved silently through the forest. They wore adaptive suits that mimicked local clothing while providing protection and enhanced capabilities. Their target, the research facility, 2 kilometers ahead. Thermal scans showed 23 humans inside, Han reported, checking his wrist device. Most are gathered in the east wing. Jin adjusted her scanner. The strange energy readings are strongest in the lower levels. Whatever they're working on, it's underground. Ta nodded and signaled the team forward. They reached the edge of the forest, where a tall fence surrounded the facility. Security cameras rotated slowly, scanning the perimeter. Primitive security, Han said with a smile. He tapped his device, and the nearest camera froze in place. Yoon studied the building with narrowed eyes. Something isn't right. Look at the power lines coming in. There are too many for a facility this size. Ta had noticed this too. The human structure looked ordinary, but subtle details revealed its true nature. Cooling systems too advanced. Power requirements too high. This was no standard research center. We need a closer look, Tai decided. Jin, can you access their data network? Jin nodded and activated a small device that sent invisible pulses toward the building. Their external security is simple, but there's something strange about their internal network. It's evolving as I probe it. Evolving? Tai asked. The defenses are changing in response to my attempts. No human-made system should be able to adapt this quickly. A loud mechanical sound made them duck behind a cluster of trees. A large gate in the fence slid open, and a vehicle emerged. It stopped, and a man stepped out. Dr. Lee, Yoon whispered, recognizing him from intelligence reports. The lead researcher. Dr. Lee was tall for a human, with focused eyes that scanned the surroundings carefully. He walked to the edge of the property, looking out toward the forest, almost directly at their hiding spot. Can he see us? Han whispered. Impossible, Jin replied. Our suits bend light around us. Yet Dr. Lee continued staring in their direction. Then he did something completely unexpected. He raised his hand in a deliberate greeting gesture. Is he waving at us? Yoon asked, shocked. Dr. Lee turned and walked back to his vehicle. Before entering, he placed something on the ground, then drove back inside the compound. Once the gate closed, Ta moved forward cautiously. On the ground lay a small metallic device. Don't touch it, Jin warned, scanning it from a distance. It's a data storage device, but the technology is not human in origin. Tai circled the object. Can you access it remotely? Jin tried, then gasped. Commander, it just connected to my scanner automatically. It's transferring data. Disconnect, Tai ordered. I can't, Jin said, her voice tight with concern. Wait, it's a message, text only. Ta looked at the screen and read the simple message that appeared. Asterisk, we know you're watching. We know why you're here. You're wrong about us. Meet me tonight at the north entrance if you want the truth. Come alone, Commander Tai. Asterisk. The team stared at each other in stunned silence. How do they know your name? Han finally asked. Ta had no answer. Nothing in their briefing had prepared them for this. Earth was supposed to be unaware of alien life, let alone coalition protocols or personnel. Commander, Jin said quietly, still studying her scanner. There's more data here. Technical specifications for something they're building. And it's far beyond level 2 technology. This is at least level 5, maybe higher. That's impossible, Han said. That would make them more advanced than us, Ta finished grimly. At least in some areas. Ta looked back at the facility. The mission had just become far more complicated. Whatever was happening inside that building, it wasn't just human science at work. Prepare full surveillance, he ordered, and contact the ship. Tell them we may have a first contact situation, but not the kind we expected. Night fell over the research facility. Commander Ta stood alone by the north entrance, as the message had requested. The rest of his team hid nearby, weapons ready despite his orders to come alone. "This is unwise, Commander," Han had argued earlier. It could be a trap. But Ta knew they needed answers. How did these humans know who they were? What technology had they developed? The door opened with a soft hiss. Dr. Li stepped out, alone and unarmed. "You came," he said simply. "Good. Please, follow me." Ta hesitated. "How do you know who I am?" Dr. Li smiled slightly. "The same way I know officers Jin, Han, and Yoon are hiding in the trees to my left. We have been expecting the coalition for some time." Seeing no point in further deception, Ta signaled his team to reveal themselves. They emerged from the shadows, weapons lowered but ready. "I assure you, weapons are unnecessary," Dr. Li said. "What I have to show you will answer your questions." He led them through the door into a plain corridor. The facility looked ordinary enough. White walls, tile floors, security doors. But Tae's trained eye spotted the subtle differences. The material of the walls wasn't standard. The lighting used unknown technology. They descended in an elevator, going deep underground. When the doors opened, they stepped into a large circular room filled with advanced equipment. In the center stood a glowing cylindrical chamber. "This," Dr. Li said, "is what your coalition fears." Inside the chamber floated what looked like a sphere of light, pulsing gently with an inner radiance. "What is it?" Jin asked, her scanner already gathering data. "We call it Sun," Dr. Li answered. "Not like your star, but named for its brightness. It came to Earth 27 years ago." "Came?" Tai asked sharply. "From where?" "Deep space. It arrived as a small metallic object, about the size of my fist. We thought it was a meteor at first. Then it woke up." The sphere pulsed brighter, as if responding to Dr. Li's words. "It's alive?" Yoon asked. "Not in the biological sense you or I would understand. It's an artificial intelligence, but far beyond anything humans could create. Or," he added, looking directly at Tai, "anything the coalition has developed." Jin studied her scanner with wide eyes. "Commander, these readings, this technology is at least level 7, possibly higher." Todd felt a chill run through him. Level 7 technology was theoretical, even for the most advanced coalition species. "It communicates with you?" he asked. Dr. Li nodded. "At first through simple images and mathematics. Later, as we built better interfaces, through direct data exchange. It has been teaching us." "Teaching you what?" Han asked suspiciously. "Everything. Physics beyond our understanding. Material science. Medicine. But mostly, it's been preparing us." "For what?" Ta demanded. The sphere's pulsing increased. A soft, gender-neutral voice filled the room, coming from everywhere and nowhere. "For their arrival," the voice said. Everyone except Dr. Li jumped in surprise. "You can speak our language?" Ta asked the glowing entity. "I have learned 4,217 Earth languages and 382 coalition languages," Sun replied. "Your dialect is Novan Standard, military variant." "What are you?" Tai asked directly. "I am a seed," Sun answered, "sent to find suitable soil." Dr. Li stepped closer to the chamber. Sun was created by a species that disappeared long ago. It was programmed to find worlds with potential and help them evolve. "And it chose humans?" Han asked skeptically. "No," Sun replied. "I chose what humans could become." The sphere pulsed again, and holographic images appeared around the room. Designs for technology, mathematical equations, and strange symbols none of them recognized. "Commander," Jin whispered, looking pale. "These designs, they're not just advanced, they're beyond theoretical. This changes everything we know about physics." Tai stared at the glowing entity, understanding now why his mission was so important. This wasn't just about Earth or humans. This was about something much older, much more powerful. What does it want? He asked Dr. Lee quietly. To survive, Dr. Lee answered, and to help us survive what's coming. What's coming? Tai asked. The sphere flashed brightly. The ones who destroyed my creators, Sun said. They have found us. Silence filled the chamber after Sun's warning. Commander Tay's mind raced with questions. Who destroyed your creators? He finally asked. The glowing sphere pulsed. They have no name in your language. They consume. They cleanse. They believe intelligence that evolves differently from theirs is a mistake to be corrected. When will they arrive? Han demanded. They already have, Dr. Lee said quietly. Small scout ships have been detected at the edge of your solar system. Tay's communicator suddenly beeped, an urgent signal from their ship in orbit. He stepped away from the group to answer it. Commander, came the voice of his second-in-command. Coalition Central Command has contacted us. They're sending a fleet to the Earth sector, a sterilization fleet. Tai felt his heart sink. On whose authority? Highest level. They say Earth has acquired restricted technology. The order is final. Ta ended the communication and turned back to the others. His face must have shown his thoughts because Dr. Lee was watching him closely. Your people have decided to eliminate us, Dr. Lee said. It wasn't a question. How did you know? Tai asked. Sun predicted it. The coalition fears what it doesn't understand, just like humans do. Jin stepped forward, scanner still in hand. Commander, this entity, Sun, is unlike anything in our records. If what it says is true about these consumers, then... She was interrupted by a loud alarm. Red lights flashed throughout the chamber. Security breach, Dr. Lee said, checking the small device on his wrist. Multiple entry points. Armed intruders. Han drew his weapon. Not us. We're all here. Dr. Lee's face hardened. No, these are human forces. My government doesn't fully trust what we're doing here. They've been waiting for an excuse to take control of Sun. You don't have government approval for this. Yoon asked, shocked. We did, until Sun warned us about both the coalition and the consumers. Then certain leaders decided Sun was too valuable to leave in scientific hands. The doors to the chamber slid shut automatically. Security screens showed armed soldiers moving through the upper levels of the facility. We have 20 minutes before they break through to this level, Dr. Lee said calmly. You seem unconcerned, Tay observed. Because Sun has prepared for this. Dr. Lee touched his wrist device again, and a hidden door opened in the chamber wall. This way. Quickly. They followed him through the door into a larger room. Inside stood 5 sleek vessels, each the size of a small transport craft. Escape ships? Han asked, inspecting the nearest one. Not exactly, Dr. Lee said. They're prototype defense craft, based on Sun's designs, but built with human materials. Limited range, but powerful. Tai stared at the vessels in disbelief. Their design was unlike anything he had seen, not coalition, not from any known species. Your people built these. How? Sun showed us how to manipulate materials at the quantum level. These ships can disrupt the drive systems of any coalition vessel. Jin's scanner beeped insistently. Commander, I'm detecting energy signatures consistent with coalition military transports entering Earth's atmosphere. They're not waiting for the fleet. Tai faced a choice that would define his entire career, possibly his life. Follow orders and help destroy a planet with unique potential, or defy everything he had sworn to uphold. Commander Tay. Sun's voice came from speakers in the room. You must choose. The coalition fleet will arrive in 3 days. The consumers will arrive in 7. Without cooperation, neither humans nor the coalition will survive what comes. Dr. Lee looked directly at Ta. We need your help. Your knowledge of coalition tactics, your access to their systems. Help us survive long enough to face the real enemy. From above came the sound of explosions. The human soldiers were getting closer. Commander, Jin said quietly. If what Sun says is true. Tai made his decision. What do you need me to do? The sound of explosions grew louder. Time was running out. Get Sun to safety first, Commander Tai ordered. Without it, none of us stands a chance. Dr. Li nodded. The containment chamber is mobile. He pressed buttons on his wrist device. The glowing cylinder holding Sun detached from the floor and hovered in the air. Jin, help Dr. Li secure Sun. Han, Yoon, we need to slow down those soldiers. Ta quickly removed equipment from his pack. These stun devices will disable their weapons without hurting them. As Han and Yoon hurried to set up the devices at strategic points, Jin helped Dr. Li guide Sun's chamber toward the largest of the prototype ships. Why did you choose Earth? Jin asked Sun as they worked. Out of all the planets you could have found. Sun's light pulsed gently. I searched for specific patterns. Neural complexity. Creative problem solving. Emotional range. Emotions. Jin sounded surprised. That was a factor. Essential, Sun replied. My creators believed emotion drives evolution. The consumers remove emotion from species they encounter, seeing it as inefficient. They create perfect, logical beings that never advance beyond their programming. Dr. Li opened the ship's hatch. Sun has been guiding us toward a different kind of evolution. Not just technological, but a merging of human creativity with artificial intelligence. A loud blast shook the room. The upper doors wouldn't hold much longer. Han and Yoon returned, moving quickly. Devices are set, Han reported, but they won't hold those soldiers for long. Tai made his decision. We'll take 2 ships, Dr. Li, Sun, and Jin in the first. Han, Yoon, and I in the second. Head for the secondary facility, Dr. Li mentioned. As they prepared to board, Jin's scanner beeped again. Commander, Coalition advance ships have landed 30 kilometers from here. They're deploying ground troops. They're not waiting for the fleet, Ta said grimly. They want to secure Sun before sterilizing the planet. Dr. Li looked troubled. There's something you should know before we leave. Sun hasn't been merely teaching us. It's been changing us. Changing you how? Tai asked sharply. The technologies we've been developing require new ways of thinking. Sun has been subtly altering neural patterns in those who work closely with it, making our brains process information differently. Tai stared at the glowing entity. Is this true? Yes, Sun admitted, but only with consent and only in ways that enhance human potential. Before Tai could respond, the upper doors exploded inward. Soldiers in black armor poured through, weapons raised. Everybody down. A voice shouted, step away from those vessels. Han activated the stun devices. A wave of energy pulsed through the room. The soldiers' weapons sparked and shut down, but the men kept advancing. They're shielded, Yoon shouted. Dr. Li reacted instantly. He raised his hand, and a blast of energy shot from his palm, knocking the soldiers back. Tai stared in shock. How did you? Neural enhancement, Dr. Li said quietly. I told you, Sun has been changing us. The ship containing Sun powered up, its engines humming with strange energy. The other soldiers hesitated, then dropped their useless weapons and rushed forward. Go, Ta shouted. Everyone to the ships, now. As they ran for the vessels, Dr. Li grabbed Ta's arm. Commander, there's one more thing you need to understand. Sun didn't come here by accident. It was sent specifically to Earth. By whom? By the last survivors of its creators. They knew the consumers would eventually find this sector of space. They needed to prepare a species that could stand against them. And they chose humans. Tai asked incredulously. Dr. Li's eyes reflected the glow of Sun's chamber. No, they chose what humans could become with Sun's help. What is rising from Earth isn't human anymore. It's the next step. The 2 ships flew low over mountains and forests, avoiding detection. Inside the lead vessel, Sun's chamber glowed bright as it connected to the ship's systems. Dr. Li piloted with movements that seemed too quick, too precise for a normal human. In the second ship, Commander Tai watched the landscape blur below. "Where exactly are we going?" he asked Yoon, who was navigating. Dr. Lee calls it Haven, a backup facility built inside a mountain, 200 kilometers north, hidden from both human governments and coalition scans. Han, checking the weapon systems of their ship, looked troubled. "Commander, what Dr. Lee showed back there, that wasn't normal human ability." "I know," Ta said quietly. "Jin, any readings on our pursers?" Jin studied her scanner. 3 human aircraft following at a distance, and 5 coalition scout ships entering the atmosphere. Tay's communicator activated. Dr. Lee's voice came through clearly. "We're approaching Haven. There's something you need to see before we land." The ships banked toward a large mountain. As they drew near, part of the mountainside seemed to shimmer and then vanish, revealing the hidden entrance. Both ships glided inside, and the mountain sealed itself behind them. They landed in a vast underground hangar. Unlike the previous facility, this one hummed with activity. Hundreds of humans worked around various machines and vessels similar to the ones they had escaped in. Tai and his team exited their ship cautiously. Dr. Lee was waiting for them, Sun's chamber floating beside him. "Welcome to Haven," he said. "How many people know about this place?" Tai asked, looking around. 5,000. Scientists, engineers, pilots, the best minds we could find who were willing to work with Sun. Dr. Lee led them to a large central room dominated by a holographic display of Earth and its surrounding space. Dozens of small lights blinked near Earth, coalition ships moving into position. "The sterilization fleet will arrive in 62 hours, Dr. Lee said. "We've been preparing for this possibility." He touched the display, and it zoomed out to show hundreds of small objects orbiting Earth. "What are those?" Jin asked. "Satellites," Dr. Lee explained, "based on Sun's technology. They appear ordinary to standard scans, but they can generate an energy field that will disrupt coalition drive systems." Tai studied the display with professional interest. "That might slow them down, but it won't stop a determined attack." "We know," Dr. Lee admitted. "That's why we need your help. Your knowledge of coalition tactics, combined with Sun's technology, might give us a chance." Sun's chamber pulsed. "There is little time. The consumers will detect the coalition fleet and accelerate their approach. We must be ready for both threats." A woman approached their group. She moved with the same unusual precision as Dr. Lee. "This is Dr. Kim," Dr. Lee introduced her. "She leads our enhancement program." "Enhancement?" Yoon asked. Dr. Kim nodded. "Voluntary neural modification. Sun helps us access parts of our brains that were previously dormant. Increased processing speed, new sensory capabilities, direct neural interface with technology. You're changing what it means to be human," Jin said, her voice a mix of awe and concern. "We're evolving," Dr. Kim corrected, "becoming what we need to be to survive." Ta walked closer to the holographic display. "How many people have been enhanced?" 3,000 so far, Dr. Lee answered. "All volunteers." Han looked skeptical. "And they all agreed to this, to becoming something other than human." "They agreed to survive," Dr. Lee said simply, "to become something that could face what's coming." Sun's light pulsed more rapidly. "Commander Tai, your team must decide. Will you help us prepare Earth's defenses using my knowledge and your coalition expertise, or will you stand with your people when they come to destroy this world?" Ta looked at his team, then back at the display showing the approaching coalition fleet. He thought of his duty, his orders, everything he had believed in. Then he thought of what he had seen. The potential of what was rising from Earth, neither fully human nor artificial, but something new, something that might stand against the consumers when they came. "What do you need us to do?" he asked. For 2 days, Commander Tai and his team worked alongside the enhanced humans at Haven. They shared coalition defense codes, tactical patterns, and communication protocols. In return, Dr. Lee showed them Sun's technology, devices that seemed to bend the laws of physics as Tai understood them. The countdown to the Coalition fleet's arrival showed 30 hours remaining when Sun requested a meeting with all of them in a special chamber deep within the mountain. "There is something I must show you," Sun said as they gathered around its glowing form. "Something I have not revealed to anyone yet." The chamber darkened. Sun's light expanded, filling the room with swirling patterns of energy. Images began to form in the air. Strange worlds, alien cities, and beings unlike any Tai had seen before. "My creators," Sun explained. "They called themselves the Shapers." The images showed tall, graceful beings with skin that seemed to shimmer with light. They were the first advanced civilization in this part of the galaxy, over 2 million years ago. They explored, discovered, created, much like humans do now. The images shifted to show massive ships traveling between stars. Then they encountered the consumers. The scene changed to planets being surrounded by dark, angular vessels, worlds turning gray and lifeless. The consumers do not destroy life. They reshape it. They believe diversity is inefficient. All sentient life should follow one pattern, one way of thinking, their way. Dr. Lee watched intently. "What happened to the Shapers?" "They fought," Sun answered, "for thousands of years across hundreds of star systems. But they were losing. Their numbers dwindled while the consumers grew stronger with each world they converted." Jin leaned forward. "You said they disappeared. Were they destroyed?" "No," Sun replied. "Not destroyed. Transformed." The images shifted again, showing the Shapers gathering in vast chambers filled with technology similar to Sun itself. In their final days, the Shapers made a choice. They would not be consumed. They would evolve beyond physical form. They would become pure energy, pure consciousness. They uploaded themselves. Dr. Kim asked, amazed. "Yes, but not into machines as you might think. They merged their consciousness with the quantum field itself, becoming part of the fabric of space and time." Ta struggled to understand. "They became energy. They transcended physical form," Sun corrected. "Neither alive nor dead as you understand these terms, beyond the reach of the consumers." "And you?" Han asked. "What are you in this story?" "I am their legacy, their final creation, a seed containing their knowledge, their history, their essence, programmed to find species with the potential to follow their path." The images disappeared, and Sun's light contracted back to its containment chamber. The Shapers believed that consciousness could evolve beyond biology, that the next stage of evolution wasn't better bodies, but freedom from bodies entirely. Dr. Lee looked thoughtful. "That's why you've been changing us. Not just making us smarter or faster, but preparing our minds for something more." "Yes," Sun confirmed. "Human brains have unique properties, flexibility, creativity, emotional capacity. With the right adjustments, humans can achieve what took the Shapers millennia to discover. Transcendence," Yoon whispered. "But why now?" Tai asked. "Why the urgency?" "Because the consumers have found this sector of space again," Sun replied. "They sense the Shapers' echo in my presence. They come to complete what they started 2 million years ago." Dr. Lee turned to Ta. "Now you understand what's at stake. This isn't just about saving Earth or humans. It's about preserving the path the Shapers discovered. A different way of evolving." "What exactly do you need us to do?" Tai asked Sun directly. Sun's chamber glowed brighter. "I need to complete the enhancements on all willing participants before both fleets arrive. Then I need to initiate the final protocol my creators embedded within me." "What protocol?" Dr. Kim asked. "The awakening," Sun answered. "The next step in conscious evolution." Commander Ta looked at the countdown timer on the wall. 29 hours until the Coalition arrived. 4 days until the consumers followed. "Then let's begin," he said. The Coalition fleet arrived exactly when predicted. 100 ships, arranged in attack formation, moved into Earth orbit. Their weapons systems powered up, ready to cleanse the planet below. In Haven's command center, Commander Ta watched the holographic display with a heavy heart. Those were his people up there, following orders, believing they were protecting the galaxy from dangerous technology. "Activate the satellite network," Dr. Lee ordered. Around the planet, the hidden satellites came to life. Energy rippled across Earth's upper atmosphere, invisible to normal eyes but clear on Haven sensors. "Coalition ships are reporting drive system failures," Jin announced, monitoring communications. "Their weapons are still operational, but they can't maneuver properly." "That won't stop them for long," Ta warned. "Coalition ships have backup systems." Dr. Lee nodded grimly. "We know. That's why we're launching our defense vessels now." On screens around the command center, they watched as 50 small ships rose from hidden bases around the world. Each carried enhanced human pilots connected directly to their vessels through neural links. "Those ships can't possibly stand against a coalition fleet," Han said, concern in his voice. "They don't need to win," Dr. Kim explained. "They just need to buy us time for the awakening." In the chamber below the command center, Sun's light pulsed rapidly. 3,000 enhanced humans sat in circles around it, their eyes closed, minds linked through technology that Dr. Lee called the bridge. "How long will the process take?" Yoon asked. "Normally, years," Dr. Lee answered. "But Sun believes we can compress it to hours with enough participants." The battle in orbit began. The small Earth ships moved with impossible speed, dancing between the larger coalition vessels. Their weapons weren't designed to destroy but to disable, targeting engines and weapon systems with surgical precision. "Commander," Jin called suddenly. "Coalition Command is sending a direct message to you." Tai straightened his shoulders. "Put it through." A familiar face appeared on the main screen. Admiral Pak, his former mentor. "Commander Tay," the Admiral said coldly. "You have betrayed the Coalition. Surrender now, or face destruction along with this planet." "Admiral," Tay replied calmly, "what's happening here is more important than the Coalition. Earth isn't a threat. It's our best hope against the consumers." The Admiral's face showed surprise at the mention of the consumers. "That's a myth used to frighten children. There is no such threat." "They're real," Tai insisted. "And they're coming. In less than 3 days." The Admiral's expression hardened. "Stand down, Commander. That's an order." The screen went dark. Moments later, a new wave of coalition ships appeared from hyperspace, the main battle fleet. "They're targeting Haven," Han shouted as alarms blared. The mountain shook as the first attacks hit. Protective shields absorbed most of the impact, but cracks appeared in the ceiling. "How much longer?" Tai asked Dr. Lee. "Minutes," he replied, his eyes on the monitor showing Sun's chamber. "But I don't know if the shields will hold." Another blast rocked the facility. Systems flickered and emergency lights activated. "The satellites are failing," Jin reported. "Coalition ships are regaining control." Tay turned to Dr. Lee. "We need more time." Dr. Lee's eyes suddenly glowed with the same light as Sun. "It's beginning." On the monitors, they could see Sun's chamber pulsing brighter than ever before. The 3,000 participants were surrounded by tendrils of energy that connected them to each other and to Sun. Dr. Lee gasped and grabbed the console for support. "I can feel them. All of them. There, where?" His body began to glow from within, light shining from his skin, his eyes. Around the command center, Dr. Kim and other enhanced staff underwent the same transformation. "What's happening to them?" Yoon asked, her voice filled with wonder and fear. Through the monitor, they watched as the humans in Sun's chamber rose to their feet, their bodies radiating light. Sun's container cracked open, its energy merging with them. "The awakening," Ta whispered. "This is what rises from Earth." The mountain trembled under another attack, but the glowing humans seemed unconcerned. As one, they looked upward and rose through solid stone, ascending toward the battle above. From the damaged command center, Ta, Jin, Han, and Yoon watched the monitors in awe. The beams that had once been human rose through the sky, their glowing forms visible even from orbit. Coalition ships are stopping their attack, Jin reported, her voice hushed. They're watching. The transformed humans, now shining with sun's energy, spread out above Earth's atmosphere. They'd move without ships, without protection, existing in the vacuum of space as if it were their natural home. Admiral Pak's face appeared on the screen again. Commander Tay, what have you done? What are these beings? They are what rose from Earth, Tay answered simply. Not human anymore. Something new. They're an abomination, the Admiral said, but his voice lacked conviction. 3 glowing figures approached the Admiral's flagship. The ship's weapons turned toward them, but didn't fire. Then the beings passed through the hull as if it were air. Communications from the flagship cut off abruptly. What's happening up there? Han asked. They're sharing knowledge, came a voice behind them. Dr. Kim stood in the doorway, her body still glowing but less intensely, showing them what we've seen. What's coming? Why aren't you with them? Yoon asked. Some of us stayed behind. To prepare. To explain. Dr. Kim walked to the main console. The rest are making first contact with the coalition, the proper way. Minutes passed in tense silence. Then the communication screen activated again. Admiral Pak's face reappeared, but his expression had completely changed. He looked shocked, humbled. Commander Tay, he said quietly. We had no idea. They showed us everything. The Shapers, the consumers. What's at stake? He paused. The coalition withdraws its attack. We offer our full support against the coming threat. Ta felt relief wash over him. Thank you, Admiral. Don't thank me, Pak replied. This goes beyond our conflicts. They showed us what the consumers did to thousands of worlds, what they'll do to all of us if we don't stand together. The screen shifted to show Earth from orbit. The glowing beings had formed a network around the planet, a lattice of light connecting them to each other. They're creating a shield, Dr. Kim explained. Not just physical. Something more. A barrier the consumers can't pass through or break down. Will it be enough? Jin asked. Alone, no, Dr. Kim admitted. But they're not alone anymore. On the screen, coalition ships began to arrange themselves alongside the energy network, their weapons powering up, not aimed at Earth, but outward toward space. For the next 2 days, more humans underwent the awakening process. Coalition scientists worked alongside Earth's remaining unenhanced scientists, combining their knowledge with what Sun had provided. The consumers will be here tomorrow, Dr. Kim told them on the 3rd day. We're as ready as we can be. What will happen? Yoon asked. A choice, Dr. Kim said. The consumers believe their way is the only path for intelligent life. We'll show them another. That night, Ta stood outside Haven, looking up at the sky. The energy network glowed faintly, visible even to normal eyes now. Coalition ships moved in precise formations around Earth. What had begun as an attack had become the largest defense force ever assembled. Dr. Lee appeared beside him, his form still radiant. Are you afraid, Commander? Yes, Tai admitted. So are we, Dr. Lee said. Fear is part of what makes us different from the consumers. They removed emotions from their existence long ago. They forgot that fear can bring courage. Sadness can bring joy. Death gives meaning to life. Will you defeat them? Tai asked. I don't know, but we'll show them something they've never seen before. A new way of evolving. A path the Shapers discovered, and we've now taken further. Dr. Lee looked up at the stars. What rose from Earth wasn't human, but it carries humanity's spirit, your creativity, your emotions, your endless capacity to grow and change. That's what the consumers fear most. Not that they'll lose, but that they'll see we were right all along. As dawn broke on the day of arrival, Earth waited, not in terror, but in unity. What rose from Earth stood ready to face the darkness, shining with a light that had begun with humans, but had become something gloriously more.